आम नमस्ते स्थापितमस्ति। नमो नमः। मंगलया प्रारंभं कुर्मः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अस्तु, तो गत सप्ताहे अस्माभिः चतुर्थः पाठः प्रारम्भं कृतः। अष्टमस्तरपर्यन्तं तस्मिन् पाठे अष्टमभागपर्यन्तं कृतम्। अन्वयक्रमः अपि किञ्चित् दृष्टम् अस्माभिः। किं
नमस्ते
तत्
महोदय।
आं नमस्ते भगिनी। रामायण कथायाः वाल्मीकेः कृतेः अवगमनं किञ्चित् अग्रे कृतम् अस्माभिः। इदानीं तस्मिन् एव पाठे चतुर्थः पाठः तस्मिन् पाठे एव अग्रे किं किं विषयं भवति इति जानीमः। इदानीं किम् अस्ति विषयः? पदविभागनियमः इति अन्वयक्रमभागे एव कथं करणीयम् इति किञ्चित् पाठः। In the Padavibaga means to how to break up the words in a sentence. Okay, so basically some kind of Sandhikarya knowledge they have been giving informally beside actually Sandhi learning also, because formal Sandhi learning takes a longer time. They are giving what you call as a citizen's view of some of the Sandhi niyamas. Okay, if you do not need, you don't have to put on your video, though I don't have any problem if you have it on. I just request that. So in the lesson so far, you have come across Padavibhaga in the shlokas that were taught. Words are joined with one another due to several factors. Okay, a word ending in a consonant, that is we call it halanta. In technical terms we call it halanta or vyanjananta. Vyanjananta is a laukika term. Okay, vyanjana being a laukika term for consonant. There is a shastriya term called halanta. Okay, what is this halanta? Basically hal is a symbol in grammar, in Sanskrit grammar. Basically all the different letters, they are converted into 14 sutras. Everything is sutra. It's so beautiful. So 14 sutras describe the consonants and vowels, and the sutras that encompass the consonants is identified by the hal technical term. So we call it hal anta, ending in a consonant. Okay, but we can call it simply also vyanjananta. So those ending with a consonant joins with the following word that commences with a vowel, right? So this is called ordinary samyoga. For example, that's what they have shown. Okay, griham with a makaranta halanta anta adding up to agachat, which is a past tense lang lakara form of gam dhatu, right? Somebody came in the past. So that makara in a halant can simply be combined with the akara, which is the leading attack letter of the second word, into a simple samyoga. Okay, this is a simple samyoga where we know that consonants and vowels conjoin together to form a samyuktakshara, we call it, right? Samyuktakshara. So griham agachat. So ma iti parivartanam, makarah evam akarah militva makarah bhavati. Makarah. So griham agachat iti. Atra kimapi sandhikaryam nasti. Sandhi iti vadamah chet tatra kimapi parivartanam syat. किमपि परिवर्तनं स्यात्, किमपि नूतनं स्यात् तत्र। अत्र किमपि नूतनं नास्ति। मकारः हलन्त् एवं आकारः सामान्यतया संयुक्ताक्षरे अपि मा इत्येव उच्चारणं भवति। तो अतः तत्र सन्धिकार्यम् इति नास्ति, परन्तु संयोगः अस्ति एव। And similarly another sentence, another small pair, वाक्यम् उक्त्वा मकारः उकारः, तो मुकारः इति भवति। मु, सो वाक्यम् उक्त्वा इति। तद् इति दकारः इकारः। तद् इत्यत्र तत् इत्यस्य परिवर्तनमेव तत् इति इत्यस्य परिवर्तनं तद् इति तत्र किमपि सन्धिकार्यं वर्तते तकारस्य दकारपरिवर्तने किमित्युक्ते तद् इति प्रातिपदिकरूपमस्ति तस्य तद् शब्दः एतद् शब्दः इति पठामः किल यदि एषः एतौ एते इति स्तम्भाक्षरान् पठामः तत्र तद् इति मूलरूपं प्रथम एकवचने तत् इत्येव तत् इति तद् इति दकारः इकारः मिलित्वा दि इति. In the above examples, the above first word ends with a consonant and that is Vyanjanantam, the Laukika word. M and D are consonants without a vowel. That's why they are called halant. The second word has a vowel in the beginning. Swaradi. See Adi Shabda. Anta Shabda and Adi Shabda. So Adi here should not be taken to mean etc. It means actually beginning. Okay. Swara Adi. Beginning with a swara is how we call it Swaradi. Of course, other letters will follow. So there is a sense of etc. there, but Adi is about the first position of the swara. When the two words are joined, Makara and Akara has become Ma and D plus E has become Di. We have seen this fairly straightforward so far. So let's move forward. Words are joined. Okay, number 2 now. So number 1 subject is finished. So number 1 subject, though they have not given a title to this, I tend to call this as simple samyoga because samyukta akshara we know from learnings, right? Samyukta akshara is samyogam kritam samyuktam iti. So samyoga karya is happening here is what we can say between a consonant and a vowel. Next, number 2, they are teaching the most critical sandhi for Padavibhaga because we have seen so many examples of Visarga sandhi, we almost know it now. Though we cannot form the sandhi, we know how to break the sandhi pretty much, how to recognize how the Visarga has changed. We have learned. Okay, so the words are joined according to Visarga sandhi. Sometimes Visarga changes to Rakara, sometimes into Sakara, and some other times as Okara. So Utva is becoming eventually Okara. So Ra, Sa, O, all these things have appeared. Sometimes actually absolute Lopa, that's what the last point is. There are places where Visarga disappears also. We call it Lopa. So Ramaha becomes just Rama like that. Okay, instead of Ramo or something like that. Different reasons are there why different sandhis of Visarga takes place. That's a deeper subject. They will probably try to explain that at some point, if not in this level, in the subsequent levels. See the examples below and note these changes in the Visarga. Visarga replaced by Repha is Savituhu idam, Savituridam. So Rakara has replaced the Visarga and the Halanta Rakara collides with the Ikara to form a simple Samyuktakshara Ri, Ri, Ri. So Savituridam it becomes. Okay. So Ukara remains as is in the Tuhu. Ukara remains. Only the Visarga has become a Repha, Halanta Repha, a pure vowel, pure consonant. It joins with the E vowel to become Ri. Savituridam, Tat Savitur Varenyam. All of us who know the basic Gayatri know this almost. Tat Savituhu Varenyam Tatra Tat Savitur Varenyam iti mukhe agachati kila tad repa eva visargasya. Astu. Visarga number 2, Visarga replaced by Sakara. Okay. Bhavantaha sarve. So because there is another Sakara there, the preference is to go with the Sakara Parivartana here. Sometimes it becomes Shakara also. We will see those later. Bhavantas sarve. See, an extra S halant is added. Now, this is what we call compound consonant. What is the word? I think first is Kagunita. It's also kind of Samyuktakshara with a couple of consonants. Okay. Bhavantas sarve. Like that. Okay. Number 3, Visarga replaced by Okara. So Ramaha Vandate becomes Ramo Vandate. Okay. Again, under certain conditions only this. For example, in this place, we cannot be doing Rama Vandate or maybe Ramas Vandate or something like that because conditions for doing that type of Visarga Sandhi are not ripe here. The condition that is available is the Okara replacement. Now, Sandhi, remember always, because we are doing pada vibhajana, we are learning how to go from samyukta to vibhakta. Okay, broken up words. But sandhi karya is always optional for you when you are yourself writing. Okay, when you yourself are writing, sandhi karya is purely optional. Okay. Kindly request those who don't require to have their video on, please just turn off the video. Please figure out in the menu how to switch off your video. Yeah. So Ramo Vandate is the form here. Okay. The fourth option is the elision or the lopa of visarga, right? So lopaha devaha iti, deva iti. So here the lopa has happened. Okay. So it won't be devariti or devasiti or devo iti. In this case, it is deva iti. Basically, it has disappeared. Okay, and we'll have to figure that out. Typically, we know that a form like deva alone doesn't have a standing. So we recognize that deva is not a proper word by itself. Okay, so we know that actually visarga is missing. Plural prathama devaha and visarga has been elided. So typically, contextually, it is very easy to recognize that this is not a natural word there. It is not in some weird vibhakti. It is actually prathama bahuvachana devaha with a visarga lopa. The next level you will learn visarga sandhi. So in the next, not in parichaya. In the next level, we are going to learn Visarga Sandhi in detail. For now, to be able to do Padavibhaga, the above explanation is sufficient. Thankfully. Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the number 1 and number 4? See, both are followed by ikara, the idam and iti, and they have this.
There are see, before the visarga, what is there also influences? We call it upada position. For example, the ukara before the visarga also holds certain influence as to, because when the visarga transforms, that ukara has to be pronounced congruently with what appears, right?
Oh, okay.
So it has its influencing role.
Okay, yeah. So the real influence is the ukara or the next?
No, the presence of the visarga is obviously one influence. You will accept that, right?
Yes.
Because we are talking about its sandhi. And then the swara that is attacking the visarga is also playing a role, because whatever happens to the visarga has to conform with that swara. Okay, also. And so you can see the difference between Savituha and Devaha is the Ukara and the Akara. And number 2, I am also not here explaining all the rules involved in the 4 variants, right? We are just saying, so we are trying to imagine the rules here by looking what is there to the right side, etc. Just like you attempted, which is very good. You're trying to see what may be the difference, why they may have done like this. This kind of scientific inquiry is good. But then remember that sometimes there are 2 options, because what happens is different areas of India, different tongue developments happened and they used to do slightly different pronunciation. So sometimes Panini has tried to accommodate those variations. Okay. So you cannot always say, hey, only one result will ensue. Possibility of 2 results are also allowed by him. Sometimes he uses sutras where he says va, like this, perhaps, syat, like this, to indicate that this can be one sutra you can apply, or you can you can do the form without this sutra applied also, like this. We call it optional sutras. Okay, that such optional sutras produce 2 situations, multiple situations like that. Okay.
Thank you.
No, welcome. Words are joined according to other sandhi rules also.
One more doubt, sir, actually. This number 2 and number 3, like Bhavas survey, like that, and it looks like a Samasya Padam once it sandhi takes place. Whereas the 3, there is a break, Ramo Vandate. Is it?
Very good question. See, what he is asking is, in 1 and 2, actually the virama is gone. So I can say positively sandhi karya has happened, right? In number 3 and 4 also, the virama has not gone. We call it avasana in technical term. This break is called avasana. We can call in loka as virama, as a pause between the 2 words. So the question Mahodaya is probably asking is, Hey, I have always understood Sandhi as where the space is removed and some kind of transformation happens to collide the two into one single word. But in this, you're calling this as Sandhi, but you're keeping two words. What is this happening like this? So the answer is yes, yes, yes. There are Sandhis where the leading letter of the second word and the tailing letter of the first word show transformation without the avasana disappearing. Okay. So it is more like to allow a congruent flow of that word into this word. Okay. Ramo Vandate is less stressful than Rama Vandate and all that. Okay. That extra effort is being softened. Is that clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But is it possible that it will change the vibhakti?
Vibhakti? No, no, it won't. It won't. It won't. Ramo, as you know, is not another Vibhakti form of Rama.
Okay.
Okay. Words are joined according to other Sandhi rules also. Let us see this. Tasya plus ayam, tasyayam. So this is our plain old Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. We already learned this, right, in the previous lesson. A plus a, Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. So no sweat there. Tasya plus idam. This is not something we haven't yet learned, but we will learn. Akara, in this level only we will learn. Akara plus ikara generates a yakara there. Sorry, sir, ekara there. Yakara was already there. Tasya. The has and the e have both disappeared from the right side word, but in those two letters, and e have become a together have become a. Okay, tasyedam, like that. That's called guna sandhi. So guna sandhi, what happens? It replaces both the purva and para akshara. Okay, so it is like a adesha in the place of the earlier ones. Tasya plus etat. Okay, aitat, tasyaitat. So a plus a has become I, and this is called vriddhi sandhi. Basically, we had seen, I think, a little bit. Guna is a set of certain letters, and vriddhi is a certain set of other letters that are later in the swara series. Okay, so when the transformation is towards those guna signed outputs, then it's called guna sandhi, and other is called vriddhi sandhi. Very clearly defined. We are going to see both of this. We are going to learn in detail in this level itself. Devau agatau. Okay. So here devavagatau. So there is a au and a, but here au and a are not seen. Instead of av is seen. Okay. Vakara is seen. Right. Newly vakara has arrived in the place of ukaras, or basically aukara. So that is called yanta vanta desha sandhi. This is another swara sandhi. Okay, this also we are going to learn in this level itself. Okay, and then the last one, they have given one examples of the various swara sandhis. Okay, sarve plus api. Again, this is similar to number 3, 4, where the avasana or the virama remains, but the akara elides. But for writing sake, in the script, to become clear, we actually show the this elided akara with the avagraha. This S-shaped symbol is called avagraha. In some Vedic verses, they use double avagraha also to show elided akaras and such. Because in Veda, pronunciation guide is very critical, because matras and swaras in singing the Vedic hymns are considered most sacred requirement. So there the script is even more tougher than normal Sanskritam. There are a lot of additional accent markers. Okay, all right. So sarvepi, but you don't have to pronounce the takara. Actually, in the pronunciation, it is elided. We can say sarvepi like that, and the virama is there mostly in the written thing. When we speak, pretty much you won't hear the virama. Sarvepi like that we hear. Okay, in the written world, the virama and the avagraha she's trying to show the elided akara. Okay, so that there is no confusion. Okay. In many cases, you don't need that avagraha to understand what has happened. In some cases, it may help. Okay, so having seen that, I wanted to bring back this table, our popular table, which we have seen many times now. So again, just I'm highlighting. See, basically the last letter of the first word is in this column title, basically row title. We should call it row title. The first column is the row title and the first row is the column title. So the row titles are all last letter of the first word. The column titles on the top, they are all first letter of the second word. Okay. So we have already seen Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Of course, slightly ignore this row and column because that is there only in more detailed Vyakarana. For Laukika Vyakarana, we don't need that. So with that column and that row deleted, you can assume this table. In which case, Savarna Dirgha Sandhi is the first 4 diagonal position. And then the other sandhis which we just saw, Guna Sandhi is the, in the first row, the next 3 after the A. I am assuming that this is gone. Okay, little column. So, and then the Guna is the yellow ones and the Vriddhi is this light pink or skin colored ones. I, O, A, I, A, O, I, O as the first letter will become I, O, I, O. So 2 Guna Vriddhi letters are I and O here. Okay. All right. So then there are 2 more major sandhis. One is called Yend Sandhi. All the blues that you see here, eliminating the diagonal greens, all the blues that are there, they are all Yend Sandhi. We call it where Ya and Va and Lakaras, they appear. Lakara appears only if there's a L, so it's not there in the Laukika Samskrita. So only Ya, Va, Ra. Ya, Va, Ra are the ones we have to worry about, the first, second and third row. And then there is another detailed sandhi which is called Yanta Vanta Desha Sandhi, which has a huge coverage. So for the tail letters A, O, I, O and all swaras as the first letter of the next word. See the whole ach, we call it ach. Just like said, hal is for Vyanjanas, ach is the technical term for swaras. So all the ach letters are there. And so all of them generate these 4 outputs, I, O, I, Ow. Okay. So the determination of what the output is based on the tail letter of the first word. Okay, like this. And what I have not shown here, there are again more exceptions happening on top of these. Okay, which are called Purva Rupa Sandhi, Pararupa Sandhi, etc., etc. We will come to that. And if you notice, Visarga Sandhi is more classified under Vyanjana Sandhis. It's kind of actually a class of its own in Vyakarana. So we deal with Swara Sandhis, we deal with Vyanjana Sandhis, then we deal with Visarga Sandhi. It's kind of, it has its own world. Okay. So let us, this is a very simple, because actually though I'm saying a lot of things, what needs to be learned for the purpose of the final exam. We are always not looking at only final exam as our goal. So I'm trying to say more things than what is needed. Don't worry too much about that. So one udaharana is given. Evam uktva is the breakup. Evam uktva. So here nothing, no sandhi has happened. If you see, no sandhi karya has happened. Only samyoga has happened. Okay. I am calling it samyoga. They didn't name it anything. So samyoga. So let us see what has happened in these places. Okay. So again, you can shout out your answers. Tam avadat.
Tam vadat.
Mahodaya got it right first. Correct, madam. Correct. Tam plus avadat. Okay. So that's what I have titled here. Kevalam pada samyojanam sandhihina. So tam avadat iti rupa. Okay. Tam plus avadat. Etam upayam. All of you got it right. Etam upayam. Very easy. We get few marks free in this particular if they give these questions. Satyam iti.
Satyam iti.
Satyam iti. Upayamakalaya. Akalaya. Now, this is something strange. Yeah, I have it here. I have it. I already know the question. Akalaya. Okay, see here star. Akalayati means to consider. Okay, it's one of the rarely used dhatus. So A is of course an upasarga there, and I think some kind of kal dhatu or something like that with a yakara because it is in a particular gana. Gana Vishesha yakara is there. Akalayati is to considers, is to mentally think about something. Okay, and then akalaya is like a lyabanta type of thing. Okay, because it's a upasargukta lyabanta. So additional yakara has generated there, having considered, having supposed. Okay, so aham pratamam akalaya tadanantaram karyam karomi. Like that. First I will think, consider it, and then do the work. I won't just jump into it. That kind of condition you use it. Okay, chintayitva sense. Okay, achintya, if it is a upasarga yukta, achintya. Okay, or chintayitva, like that. Okay. Next one, ahametat.
Aham etat.
Very easy. I am this. Okay, look, don't try to extract the meaning from these pairs. Without the context of the whole sentence, we cannot take meanings out of two words in Sanskritam, unless we know those two words to be related in a sandarbha as one phrase. Okay, sandhi can be done between any two words in the sentence. Okay, only you cannot do sandhi between one sentence, one word, and another sentence, another word. But in a shloka, sometimes two sentences exist, and sometimes that weird sandhi also happens. Very rarely, though. Kavis avoid such sandhis. Okay, so sandhi usually is between related words, but many times it is not so. I mean, not directly related. Okay, so aham kimapi anyat bhavati tadanantaram etat bhavati. Aham ityasya etat ityasya sambandhah syat na syat na janimah. Okay, we don't know. Okay, so we cannot try to extract meaning out of a pair. We can say individually what is aham individually. Can you kindly mute, please? Okay, let me mute everyone. Please excuse me, I'll just mute. Just stand back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so aham etat, you can say aham what it is, etat what it is. Angikritam asit.
Angikritam
Angikritam asit. Here, this happens to be related. Agreed it was. Okay, something was agreed between some people. We don't know who the people are, but that whatever the angikara they had, that was angikritam asit. That was agreed upon. Okay, anugnam api. Very good. Anugnam api. So anugnya is some kind of a command or permission, that kind of sense case. So permission, some permissive statement also, some sense like that is there, but don't worry about the meaning. Shabdanam eva. Shabdanam of the sounds. Okay, eva alone, of the sounds alone. Shabdanam eva kimapi shakti nasti. Artha sahitam tesham shakti rasti. Like sound alone doesn't have any strength. With the meaning, it carries strength. That is what we call shabdartha. Shabdartha shakti. It's a vyapara between shabda and artha. We call it. It's a very brilliant terminology of Shastra. Okay. Karyamekam. Some one work. Some one single work. Ayojitam asit. Very good. All of you are getting it right. Ayojitam asit. Organized it was. Some program was organized. Something like that. Okay. All right. So you guys are ready for this. The actual answers are also there. Don't think I have made any error. If I have, the truth is in what is in the book. Mine is not the truth, unless I point out some error in the book. Sometimes there are composition errors, but rarely. Okay, some more. Udaharanam. Now we have come to Visarga Sandhi trials. Okay, but this time they have not tried to give you construction of Visarga Sandhi. They have, because we are interested in Pada Vibhaga, they have given you breakup examples only. So Indro Vartam. See now it is very easy because already we know this is all Visarga Sandhi, right? So we do this. But in the exam, nobody is going to give a title on top of there saying, they will just say Vibhajanam, Sandhi Vichedanam, karotu, something like that. Okay, break the sandhis. Like that, they will give the title. They won't say it is Swarnadirgha Sandhi, Visarga Sandhi. What is happening? Okay. So some Visarga Sandhi breaks may appear because they have taught a little bit. More the Swara Sandhis will come this time, this level, because that is going to be formally taught in the grammar section. Okay, but don't not expect Visarga Sandhi break examples because it is there a little bit in this lesson also. Okay, Indraha Vartam is Indro Vartam. Atastasam. Ataha tasam. You guys are getting it. Now, guys who are not getting a shout in, try to somehow get your microphone energized. Huh? Produce some shabda. Sa ichchati. I got more sounds this time. Saha ichchati. He likes. Prayaste. Prayah te. 1 minute. Just. Jyoti Bagini, your video is on, but it is showing the sky. So you are losing bandwidth. Just turn off the video if you know how.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. I'm just telling you for your saving your bandwidth, because bandwidth is so precious. Yeah. Prayaste, prayah te. Okay, very good. Muner darshanena.
Munehe plus
Munehe. So munehe is in what vibhakti?
Shashti.
Very good. Shashti. Amit Varya got it. Shashti vibhakti. And in which vachana? Ekavachana. Correct. Muni shabda. Muni. So munehe, like that. Okay, it's one of the slightly more difficult shabdas. Okay. Now it won't be like munasya or munisya something. It's munehe. It is one of those different not akaranta type pullinga shabdas. Okay, munihi, muni, munayah, like that it goes. Munehe darshanena. Arjunas tatra. There is no tatraha, just tatra. Okay, tatra is an avyaya shabda. So Arjunaha is there. Arjunaha tatra. So pratama ekavachana Arjunaha. Tatra is an avyaya shabda which means over there. So Arjuna over there. Something asti, gacchati, something. Taira pramattaha.
Taihi plus apramattah.
Very good. It's slightly more difficult this one. See, first you recognize tai and rakara. So taihi possibility is there, and you know taihi is a word that is there. It's like saha shabda. Saha taute tam tautan tena tabhyam taihi. So tritiya vibhakti bahuvachana taihi. By them taihi. And then after the repa goes into taihi, akara remains. Please notice that carefully. There is a full rakara there. Okay. Because there is a full rakara, there is an akara that is remaining after the repa is taken out for the visarga. So apramattaha, don't convert this as taihi pramattaha, which is also a legal pair of words, but that is not what is the sandhi here, because akara is there. So
what is the meaning of pramatta?
I anticipated that because I also won't be able to quickly produce the meaning. And apramattaha is sober. Mattaha, mat is like, to become drunk. So pramattaha is somebody who is drunk. Apramattaha is somebody who is not drunk. Like hopefully all of us. Huh?
What is it? Can you please repeat it?
One of you, please.
Can you please repeat it? Pramatta.
Madam, look at the bottom line of the screen. Okay, there is an apramattaha given there, and it means sober. Okay, mattaha means a fellow who is intoxicated. Pramattaha, a fellow who is properly intoxicated. Okay, and then apramattaha is certainly somebody who is not intoxicated, a sober fellow. Sober in English also a rare word. Let me call it as not drunk, normal. Okay, that's what is sober. Okay. Taihi is by them.
Could pramattaha also mean somebody who does pramada?
Madam?
Sir, could pramattaha also mean somebody who does pramada, that is lazy?
Pramada means some kind of a mistake. I don't know about laziness. I'm not aware enough to conclude that way. Pramadah, pramadha, how does it go to ta pratyaya? I have to study. Whether all that also becomes, maybe it becomes pramatah, perhaps. Okay. That may be the difference there between pramatah and pramattah. Maybe the ta pratyaya of pramada also go to the double ta. Yeah, I am not too sure of that grammar.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, I don't know the context of the sentence, so let us not conclude how taihi and apramattaha are related. We'll not worry about it. Okay. Samudra abavan.
Samudra.
Sorry. I made a mistake. Sorry. Samruddha abavan.
Samruddha plus abhavan.
Mistake. What is the error there?
Purva, right?
No. It is a visarga sandhi. The madam forgot about the dirgha akara. Okay. There is no rule that dirgha akara disappears. Only the visarga has disappeared. So samruddhaha has become samruddha. Okay. So the original word is samruddhaha, plural. Samruddhaha abavan. In fact, abavan is also plural if you notice. Okay. But that cannot help us because we don't know that is related to samruddha. But in this case, it is because this is also plural. This is also plural. Samruddhaha abavan. So they became prosperous. Some set of people became prosperous in the past. Okay. Abhavat, abhavatam, abhavan. Shishupalo mritaha. This is very easy. O changing back to visarga. Shishupalaha mritaha. Sadly, this fellow died. Is a dead fellow. Mritaha means is a dead fellow. Kedo na.
Kedaha plus.
Hopefully, this Kedo na is not related to Shishupalo Mrita. It is very sad type of pairing, but you can say there is no there is no sorrow for his loss, but we don't know, of course, 10 is related to 9. Okay, all right, with that funny thing, we will move forward. Sometimes I feel even Sanskrit Bharati, whoever is setting this question is playing with us like this.
I have a question, sir. If you could please go back to the previous slide.
Chetana Bhagini, some music is coming out of your... 1 minute, sir. Hold on. Okay, she is muted. Go ahead.
Is there any particular rule that we need to know about first and third, especially about first and third, because I have seen this construction many times, but I don't understand the rule.
We will not go into it. When Sanskrit Bharati steps into those rules is the right time to get into them. Okay. So there is a whole in this series only, not in this level. They already indicated in the next level. Okay. Pravesha, Parichaya, what is next? Whatever is next. There you will learn. Okay. You will learn that. I'm pretty sure you will get into this level because this is the most beneficial series of exams and book sets for learning Sanskritam very well. Around. Okay, let's move forward. So basically with that non-answer, I will continue. So now there are few more. Udaharanam, tatraiva, tatra eva. This time they are trying to give you the other sandhis, though they have not taught it. This is a little bit ahead of the actual lesson. But anyway, let's try. Naika vidaha. How do you break that?
Na plus
Ekavidaha.
Correct. Na plus ekavidaha. So a plus a I. Vriddhi sandhi. Remember, see, I have put a small blue annotation there. You don't need to answer that in the exam, but maybe you do because they may ask sandhim kim iti suchayata. They will say, indicate what is the sandhi. Sandhihi kim iti. So then vriddhi sandhi. I have put only vr, but you write vriddhi sandhihi, something like that. Okay. Next. Ityuktva. Iti uktva yend sandhi iti bhavati atra. E plus u yakara generates, so yend sandhi. Atmanaham. Atmana aham. This is very easy. Savarna dirgha sandhi, right? Akara plus akara, akara. Savarna dirgha padi. Right. Apristvaiva. Little tricky. Vakara should not be forgotten. Aprištva. Aprištva eva. Without asking. Aprištva eva. Vriddhi sandhi. Akara plus ekara, aikara. Okay? Aprištva. So what happens is when you do sandhi breaks, you should start having knowledge of what the forms of the words may be. Okay? When you see aprisht, you should also already know aprištva is a tvanta and aprištva eva has become apristvaiva. Over time, this will come. By the end of this, if you study this book this time and approach the exam, you would have known by then what is happening. Vriddhi sandhi. Okay? Ito apyadikani. Actually, there are two sandhis. There are two sandhis, right? The first sandhi. Thank you. There are three sandhis. Actually, they have given only two spaces, but let me break it down for you. Ito, we know, is not a natural word. It is itaha which has become ito. Okay, otva has happened. Ukara which has become o. So itaha is the first word. Then alongside that, this akara has become a purva rupa sandhi. So akara has been shown as avagraha, as the elided akara. So there is a that is generated when you break that sandhi. So from the purva rupa sandhi reversal, we get akara there. And then p and ya. P and ya, okay, is p and a. Okay, ikara plus akara has become pya. So end sandhi is also hidden there. Do you see that? Oh, itaha api adhikani. Than this, more than this, something like that. Some sense is there. Ityo apyadhikani is actually together. If you take it together as the meaning, then it means more than this, like that. Okay. Itaha api adhikani, itopyadhikani. Okay. So itaha api adhikani. So first is actually visarga. I have actually even failed to write the purva rupa. So there is a visarga sandhi, there is a purva rupa sandhi, there is a end sandhi. Visarga and purva rupa are next to each other, but end is separate. Okay. Tricky question. If they give this, if you do one of the sandhi breaks, they will give you the marks. If it is a 1 mark question, if you explain both, they will all the three they will clap and be very happy. Okay. Yeah. Mrutasyaiva. Very easy. What sandhi it is?
Vriddhi sandhi.
Vriddhi sandhi. Mrutasya eva vriddhi. Aikara is generated. Atyagrahinaha.
Ati agrahinaha.
Correct. New Zealand is ahead of everybody else. So ati agrahinaha. Satyagrahinaha is also similar sandhi. Okay. It's almost similar sandhi. Actually, it is an internal sandhi, so but ati is an external sandhi. Ati agrahinaha. Extreme pressure. Those who give extreme pressure. Something like that. Agraha is some kind of a compulsion, pressure, that kind of thing. So agrahin is somebody who is compulsive, something like that. So it's a weird construction, but anyway, is OCD, obsessively compulsive disordered fellow. It can be such fellows can be called atyagrahina. It need not always mean that compulsive disorder, but I mean somebody who is like a teacher also sometimes is atyagrahina. If he doesn't become atyagrahina, the students will become lazy. So nothing wrong there. Ati agrahinaha, end sandhi. Agrahinaha, uncompromising men, not given to compulsions. Okay. Oh, reverse of what I meant. I'm not too sure of the second half. Anyway, let us take that for now. Let's learn through dictionary's proper meaning. Paddhatyanugunam. I got both the Lakshmis, Lalita ji, Chetana, all the voices. Paddhati anugunam. Paddhatyanugunam.
Paddhatyanugunam.
Correct, madam. Paddhatyanugunam. Okay. Now here, for me, Paddhati is not a natural word. It is a stem alone. Okay. I believe this is actually a samasta pada, because when you see a stem like this Paddhati, right? Because Paddhati is not a kriya pada, so tiyanta is not allowed for a namapada. So there is something missing. There cannot be a visarga, because if there is a visarga, Paddhatir angunu, some other sandhi would have happened. T and there was no chance for E and R to collide. So Paddhati is a stem. So I also conclude looking at this that this must be a samasta pada construction. This is an internal sandhi of the samasta pada. Okay, but because they have asked us to do sandhi vibhajana, we can write Paddhati and Gudam. But if you take Paddhati alone, I cannot explain what vibhakti, what it is, because it's a pratipadika. Okay. But in the Vigraha Vakya of the Samasta Pada, this will become Paddhatehe Anugunam. So this will become Shashti form. That means according to of the Paddhati, according to the Paddhati. So Paddhatehe of the Paddhati, something like that. Okay, is the grammar there. Anyway, Vidyodayaha. No. There is no visarga. Somebody said Vidyaha. There is no Vidyaha. Just Vidya. If you remember, Vidya is a ekavachana legal shabda, no? So Sita Udayaha. See, don't think that they'll together make a meaning. So if for example together they have to make a meaning, it will be Vidyayaha Udayaha, of Vidya the rise, right? So there is no Vidyayaha Udayaha. So you don't have to worry about them trying to generate a meaning together. Unless we take them as a Samastapada joined together, then it is Vigraha Vakya would be Vidyayaha Udayaha. So this can be taken as simple sandhi, external sandhi of two different words, or it can be taken as a Samastapada thing, and that depends on the dharma of the sentence. We have to look at the whole sentence to conclude on that. We cannot say alone. I hope you guys caught that, what I'm trying to explain.
Yes.
Okay. Guna sandhi. Okay. A plus U, O. Guna sandhi.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Please ask, madam.
So why can't this be like Vidya, like the O could be the this Visarga Sandhi, right? So it could be Vidyaha and then Dayaha.
The thing is, because the first number one, when the O usually comes, there will be space retained, if you have noticed.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the signs of the Utva of Visarga is that they do not delete the space. Okay. So that is one clue, but there are other clues also many times that if it is Vidyaha, and first you have to think, is there a Vidyaha? Can you think, is there a Vidyaha?
No.
No. So that is another clue. So you know Vidyaha doesn't sound like any vibhakti to me. I know Vidya Shabda. Okay. I never knew that as a masculine Vidya Shabda. So that if somebody is using...
Mahodaya, Vidhi plus Udayah agantum shaknoti kalu?
Vidhi is a Mahaprana Dhakara.
Vidhi. Okay. Vidhi na.
महाप्राण भवति किल तु महाप्राण नास्ति अत्र अल्पप्राणदकारः एव
विधि उदयः
परन्तु यदि विधि इति दकार अल्पप्राणदकारस्य विधि इति अपि अस्ति इति चिन्तयामः चेत् तदपि वरम् यदि तादृशशब्दः अस्ति तर्हि विधि उदयः विद्योदयः इत्येव भवति तत्तु सत्यमेव तदपि सत्यम्
धन्यवादः
तत्र किं यण् सन्धि यकारः आगच्छति
अस्तु धन्यवादः
विशेषाङ्गान् this is also a samastapada. See, Vishesha is a stem alone. It doesn't have a pratyaya. It is very easily recognized. It doesn't have a pratyaya, right? Because we know it is not having any standard pratyaya form. So it is again a samastapada. Okay. Vishesha Ankan. But the Sandhi is Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Akara plus Akara, Akara. Very easy for us. Okay. So looks like we have done everything correctly. Vidya, Udaya. I may have even gone back, checked myself. So I may not have errors, but who knows. Okay. With that lesson concluded, number 9, Anuvada Paddhatihi.
महोदय एकं संशयम् अस्ति
एकः संशयः
एकः संशयः अस्ति ग्रहिणः एतत् शब्दं कर्मणि प्रयोगे अस्ति वा ग्रहिणः
No. I think some kind of a kridanta where this fellow who is having that type of agraha is become atyagrahi. Okay, so it is some kind of a kridanta which I am also not knowledgeable enough. There are 100 odd kridantas. So this what has happened, some fellow who has the agraha has become the agrahi and plural of that is agrahinaha, something like that.
ओ अस्तु धन्यवादः
And I don't know whether it is agrahin shabda and shashti ekavachana agrahina. I also have to little bit research to look it up. Okay. Because I have concluded here as plural. Agrahin iti yadi svikurmah agrahinah iti shashti ekavachana rupam va panchami rupam va bhavitum shakyate. तु तदपि द्रष्टव्यं तत्र एवं वदामि मम तत्र अतिज्ञानं नास्ति इति अहं प्रयत्नं न करोमि अस्तु भगिनि प्रथमम् अस्माभिः एतत् वक्तव्यम् अस्मिन् लोके बहु विरलाः ये संस्कृतं सर्वं गाढरीत्या जानन्ति परन्तु बहवः सन्ति ये विचिन्त्य कुत्र दृष्ट्वा किं वक्तव्यम् इति उत्तरं कथम् आनेतव्यम् इति जानन्ति तादृशाः बहवः सन्ति झटिति एतत् सत् एतत् असत् इति वक्तुं बहु विरलाः अहं तु यथा भवन्तः सर्वे अहमपि छात्रः एव अत्र अस्तु अनुवादपद्धतिः सो ट्रान्स्लेशन् methodology. Okay, let me invite one of you to read on our behalf to help us out. So, Ramamurthy Varya, G. Ramamurthy Varya.
Shall I start?
Just kindly read this paragraph for us, English paragraphs for us.
English, okay. Translation does not merely consist in putting a few sentences together from one language to another. Translation of ideas constantly takes place in our minds when we are writing independently or talking. We think in our mother tongue and mentally translate the idea into other language before writing it down. It is only
here I just want to intervene. Though they have said we think in our mother tongue, I am of the belief that actually there is a language of the mind which is little beyond mother tongue also. Okay, there is a language of the mind which is little beyond mother tongue, which is inexpressible, and first expression of that happens in the mother tongue and then sometimes in the foreign tongue. And if you know a second tongue very well, you don't need the mother tongue. Sometimes from the mental language, avyakta bhasha, vyakta bhasha, anglam va, kannadam va, bhavitum, samskritam va. Asmakam prayatnah evam asti, samskritam bhavet tadditi asmakam yatnah. Yatah samskrite बहु शब्दाः बहु साध्यताः सन्ति यद् मनसि भवति भाषा तस्य व्यक्तीकरणं संस्कृते सर्वदा सुलभं किम् इत्युक्ते सर्वरीत्याः पदाः अर्थीकरणम् एवं भवति संस्कृते इति संस्कृतं यदि सर्वं जानीमः तर्हि तत् सुलभं भवति मनसः भाषायाः व्यक्तभाषा कर्तुं संस्कृतं बहु साम्यम् अस्ति अस्तु अग्रे पठतु महोदय
It is only right and proper that we resort to simple language in translation to begin with. In Sanskrit, verbs pose some difficulty in translation.
Slight pause difference. In Sanskrit, verbs pose some difficulty in translation. So stress is on verbs. Verbs are posing some difficulty in translation. Continue, sir.
Since our vocabulary of verbs is lacking, it is but natural that we find it difficult.
Sanskrit Bhati is reading our mind. Okay, continue, sir.
In such situation, it is better to split verbs.
So today the point of the lesson is, because we are entry level, trying to know all the dhatus and all its lakara forms and all can become overwhelming. But there Sanskrit Bharati's very goal is to try to offer you an easy way, okay, so that you start with it. Okay, it's not that you end with the easy way, you start with the easy way. It's like, laying a mud road before the tar road is formed. Like that. They want to lay a mud road which is easy enough for our weak strength to form, and then walk into that. Okay. And then slowly we know how to place the tar on it over time as we gather more material or more knowledge. Right? That's what they have said. So continue reading, sir, for us.
Yes, sir. Example, adite, adhyanam karoti.
Now you see, now let us stop here. Adhite is first because I have studied a few things a little more now. Oh, te anta. So it is an atmanepadi dhatu. Adhite iti asti. Then it must be this gana. I actually don't know. So some people recognize, oh, what vikarana pratyaya is there. Some people can kind of tell. Okay. So some people can pull the dhatu out and upasarga out quickly. This kind of, so lot of things is there involved in some of these dhatus. Okay. But all of these dhatus, or at least much more than what you normally use, they are all can be simply learnt as one form called this infinitive form, right? This adhyayanam, the act of studying. Nidram, the act of sleeping. Vikrayanam, the act of selling. Bhojanam, the act of eating. Chedanam, the act of breaking. This kind of one form of each of the dhatu, if we learn, it's actually one of the kridantas. So if we learn that form, right, then they are going to teach us that you can use the karoti form, and you can learn the various forms of karoti, akarot, karishyati. It is not too difficult for one dhatu, kr. And even there, you don't have to learn all the lakaras, all the ones that you need. And plus, you can learn some popular kridantas of kru dhatu, like kritavan, kritavati, to avoid other lakaras. So this technique is what they are teaching today. Adhyayanam karoti is cheaper and easier to say than, though it is more what you call strenuous to say two words in place of one beautiful single word, adhite. So when people use these kind of forms, we call them proudas. Okay, they are all seniors. So these are all us juniors. Adhyayanam karoti. So when in many of my current MA class also, no, when the guru asks a question, depending on how the student answers, he immediately knows, oh, yeshaha Samskrita Bharatyaha Chatraha, yeshaha Shastraditaha. So this fellow knows Shastra, that's why he's using the words the way he's using. So, but for us, this is a sopana, this is a step, Adhyayanam Karoti. One day, we hope to reach this Adhite level. Continue, sir.
Nidrati, nidram karoti. Vikrinete, vikrinite. Sorry, vikrinete. Vikrayanam karoti.
Correct.
Bhunkte.
Very tough. You see how bhunkte. See how many characters are there. Ng is there, k is there, ta is there, then ekara. So ng, k, t, e. Unkte. But it is one single dirgha compound. Bhunkte. So somebody eats. Somebody has eaten. That is bhunkt. Bhunkte, like that. Okay. Bhojanam karoti. So it's much more easy, right? Somebody eats. Very easy to say. This is more like the English level grammar. Huh? That is the Sanskrit grammar, really deeper. Continue, sir.
Chinatti. Chetanam karoti.
Chedanam karoti. Chinatti. So dakara has gone into double ta. So chinatti. So breaks. Okay. Chedanam karoti. I will go to the next page. So thanks, Mahodaya. Thanks. You can take rest. Lakshmi Sridharan.
मम पुस्तके छनत्ति अस्ति एवमपि शुद्धं वा?
न चिनत्ति करेक्ट करोतु.
अस्तु महोदय.
छनत्ति इति न श्रुतमेव मया. चिनत्ति इति बहुवारं श्रुतं. चिनत्ति एव.
Should I start,
Start, Mahodaya. Thanks.
Okay. By using adhyayam karoti instead of adhite, the same idea is conveyed. Although almost all verbs can thus be split, simple verbs need not be split. Where the use of the verbal forms is difficult and complicated, this kind of splitting is advisable.
So yeah. I'll just I'll summarize that. Yes, very easy to understand what they have written. So don't try to overdo this, is what they're saying. Patanam karoti, gamanam karoti. Let us not get that bad, because then you are going below Sanskrit Bharati level. So learn your 50 verbs. Okay, maybe 40, maybe 20. I'm not saying 50. And try to stay within the lakara for those verbs and not revert to this karoti business. Okay, and that's what they're advising. Continue, madam.
However, care should be taken in doing so, because the object gets accusative case when the actual or direct verb is used, and gets possessive case when the verb is split up.
Now they are going to teach this. Okay, this karoti business has its own precautions. It's what they are trying to say. Care should be taken. Okay. Okay, there is a little bit of English grammar, so let's not what you call sweat over trying to analyze what accusative, all those things and all that. Let us look at the examples. Things will become clear to us only. Continue, madam.
Yeah. Observe the following examples. Pustakam adhite, studies. Pustakasya adhyayanam karoti. Lekhani.
Hold. See, pustakam adhite, okay. Adhite can be if you don't have the pustakam word. Suppose you didn't have the pustakam word, like in the previous slide we saw, no? Adhite means adhyayanam karoti atva kurute, something like that. You can make it karoti or kurute. Both ubhayapadi. Kru dhatu is ubhayapadi. So adhyayanam kurute or adhyayanam karoti, both are correct. No incorrectness in translations that way. But when pustakam is a karma pada for adhite is the verb that directly takes pustakam as a karma pada. But what has happened in karoti? Karoti has taken adhyayanam already as a karma pada. So now the pustaka has to be brought in as a relational word to adhyayana. Pustakasya adhyayanam karoti. Study of the book. Okay, you cannot say book study does. Okay, you have to say does the study of the book, right? So that of has to appear now suddenly for pustaka. So that's what they're warning you. When you translate, we learn, oh, Adite, I know how to say adhyayanam karoti. Pustakam adhyayanam karoti. That's how we always end up translating. We write it as pustakam adhyayanam karoti. But technically that would be incorrect. Okay, because karot kru dhatu may not take the pustaka as a second karma pada in that context. Okay, because pustakam karoti is a meaningless combination. It may mean he creates the book. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Adhyayanam is the directly related to kru dhatu, and in turn what the adhyayanam is about is the pustakasya. So they are teaching you, be very cautious. When you go to simple Sanskritam, you get additional burden of thought. This one.
Sir,
yes.
If one were to just say pustakam adhyayanam karoti, it will be more like that the book is studying.
No. Pustakam karo. Just let us remove adhyayanam for now from the equation. Pustakam karoti. What do you understand by that?
Oh, they are doing book.
It's a little bit meaningless combination. That's why it's not a dvikarma. It's not a proper karma pada in the context.
Can we not have dvikarma pada, Mahoday?
Karoti has to take the correct dvikarmaka. Any karma pada cannot be entered into any kriya pada, right? Matam karoti cannot be done, right? Adhyayanam karoti can be done. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you say pustakam adhyayanam karoti, then it becomes dvikarma
Pustakasya.
pada, right?
Pustakas,
Yeah.
no, it is not a legal dvikarmaka. To you, it looks like dvikarmaka. It is not a meaningful dvikarmaka. Got it? It's not syntactical. It may look all proper, but it is not making semantic sense. Okay. So, pustakasya adhyayanam matayaha sevam karoti. So, sevam karoti. Matayaha sevam karoti. Matam sevam karoti is meaningless in Sanskrit. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
It looks to our simple Samskrita brain, it looks so fine. Matam sevam karoti. What is there? But you have to remember the grammar of Sanskritam gets involved there. And matayaha sevam karoti. Look in mother tongue. Look in mother tongue. Say in Kannada. ಅಮ್ಮನನ್ನು ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. No, it is incorrect. ಅಮ್ಮನನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ, ಅಮ್ಮನನ್ನು ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. No, ಅಮ್ಮಳ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. Right? So like that, matayaha or mata ke or mata ki in Hindi. Mata ke or mata ki seva karya ko karte hai, like that.
Correct. Mahoday, what do you call these versions? The adhite and adhyayanam, what do you call them?
Adhite is actually a lakara form, right? It's an atmanepadi lakara form. Okay, it is a lat vartamana prathama purusha ekavachana adhite atmanepadi. Karoti is also similarly a lat lakara vartamana prathama purusha ekavachana. Okay, in those aspects it matches with adhite, but it doesn't convey the adhyayana. So adhyayana is brought in. Okay, adhyayanam is brought in as a karma pada to the karya karoti.
Right.
Okay, is it clear?
Yeah.
Continue, madam.
Lekhanim vikrinite sells, lekhanyah vikrayanam karoti.
Same principle again. Vikrayanam of what? Lekhanyah vikrayanam, selling of the pen. Continue, madam.
Vriksham chinatti.
Chinatti.
Okay, chinatti. And then vrikshasya chedanam karoti.
So again similar thing. Chedanam vrikshasya.
Hastam upayunkte.
Very good. Upayunkte.
Hastasya upayogam karoti.
So remember that when for some verbs the karma pada will need to go to different, because now you have occupied the karma pada for kr, you have to go to another forms. Okay.
Dwaram pidhatte dvarasya pidhanam karoti.
So pidhanam is closing. Pinjasya dwarasya vatayanasya pidhanam shakyate. So window you can close, door you can close, switch you can close. So we use pidhana for them. Udghatana pidhana.
Continue. However, intransitive verbs like nidrati and prayatate do not have an object. So the question of changing the object into Shashti Vibhakti does not arise. When split up, Nidram and Prayatnam take the accusative case because they are the object of the verb karoti in Nidram karoti and Prayatnam karoti.
So they have actually explained what is happening. So now actually I wish they had given an example for, they said a very interesting sentence here, but they didn't show any example. So the question of changing the object into Shashti Vibhakti does not arise when there is an intransitive verb, right? So if you go back, Nidram karoti is not there in the, okay, in here only they have given, that's all. See, let us take Ramaha nidrati. Okay, Ramaha nidrati, sorry. It is pharmacy, a little more complex, not nidrati, it is nidrati. Ramaha nidrati. So Rama sleeps. So this nidrati, the nidra, whatever is the original dhatu form of that, nidra, I don't even know that much. So that would be called akarmaka dhatu, because the act of doing sleep does not have a karma involvement. It is the action itself closes out, right? So it is not like a transitive verb like going somewhere or eating something or looking at something or hearing something. Like there is no something involved for the act of sleeping. Sleeping itself is something, that's it. Okay, so whoever is the guy who is sleeping is the one involved along with the Kriya Pada, who is the Nidra. So when we convert that Nidrati to the Karoti form, Nidram Karoti, there is no Pustakasya Nidram Karoti, Mashakasya Nidram Karoti, Shayanasya Nidram Karoti. That is not possible because originally there was no Karma Pada. So don't get confused. Think about the verb. Think whether it is transitive, intransitive. See, verbs, except a few which change from transitive to intransitive from one language to another, except a few. That is because of translation. We would have mapped the verb incorrectly or slightly differently, so we get transitive, intransitive variances. But if you just remain within Sanskritam and know your transitive and intransitive, basically sakarmaka, akarmaka, bheda, then this becomes clear. Over time you will get this. Now it looks like some kind of a high lesson, that sentence, but I hope you got some sense of what was being told by Sanskrit Bharati there. Okay, so excellent. So let's move forward. Exercise time for us. Okay, translate the following sentences into English. Couple of them we will do and I will skip over. Balakah angulya gananam karoti.
The boy
counts with the fingers.
Correct. The boy, one single boy, counts with the finger. With the fingers. You can translate both ways. According to English facilitation, you can go to plural. Don't worry about trying to. That's why Sanskrit Bharati tells you, don't worry about word to word translation. Do the tatparya largely. So they're looking for a tatparya artha. So count with fingers, with the finger. Nobody says in English, right? With the fingers, they say. But in Sanskritam, the paddhati is to say angulya, with finger. Okay, that is our paddhati. We also know we may use more than one finger. That is not that it is discounted. Okay. Sa vasta prakshalanam karoti.
She washes the clothes.
She washes the clothes.
She
washes the
clothes.
She washes the clothes. And my butler translation is she cloth washing does. Don't write like that. Just think like that and write like English. Okay. Okay. Shishuhu sarvada nidram karoti.
Baby
always sleeps.
Baby, child, just baby. Any of them is okay. The baby always
sleeps.
Actually, the way it is said in Sanskritam, sleeping it does. So the baby always sleeping does is the form in Sanskritam, but you translate it to proper English. So like this, okay, very easy. Let us jump forward to English to Sanskritam. I translate sentences.
Aham vakyanam anuvadam karati.
Aham anuvadam karomi.
One simple. Aham Vakyanam is better, okay, because sentences should not be forgotten.
Vakyanam anuvadam.
Vakyanam anuvadam karomi. Aham Vakyanam anuvadam karomi.
Sentences means
of the sentences. In Sanskritam grammar, we have to put it in Shashti. Of the sentences. Vakyasya vakyayoho vakyanam Shashti bahuvachana. So I of the sentences, translation as a object, I do. Okay. Aham vakyani anuvadami. That's another way. Here what I have done, karomi I have removed and I use, but you can use karomi method, no problem. So like this, okay. Again, I will skip forward due to lack of time. You guys practice. Okay. So let us come to Sandhi lesson and get started a little bit with this. So that today afternoon we should get started with lesson 5 is my goal. Okay, so let's do the Sandhi lesson a little bit. We have some 20 minutes, so let's get launched with it. So today's focus, I will mute everyone. Just kindly excuse me. Yeah, thanks for those of you who volunteered.
Can you briefly go to the previous slide just 1 second? I want to see something.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. No problem. I skipped forward because actually the answers are there in Sanskrit Bharati book. So I have just given my own Butler alternatives to go literal. But you don't write like the blue sentences. Write like this Sanskrit Bharati sentence. See, they also put bracket S. Okay. Sandhi. So Vriddhi Sandhi. We already learned something about this, but now this is more formally they are teaching. So first I have some nice graph here. So let us look at it. So this is the anta akshara, anta swarakshara a, okay, and the adi swarakshara a, okay. Actually, in this case, that is the generated a, I, o, au. They are the generated ones actually. Vriddhi. And so anyway, this a can be a or a, hrisva or dirgha. Remember that. Okay, it's just a notation placeholder for a and a. Okay, like that. Okay, so here actually I have ended up showing the resultant transforms. So that picture is a little bit less useful. So let us just go through the example. Okay, saha tatraiva upavishati. Tatra eva a I. Okay, a generates I. Okay, so actually you need to put the mouth of the fish also with the output, then it will become complete. Samskrita bhasha naiva klishta nachakatina. Oh, this is that famous verse that Samskrita Bharati uses, na? Naiva klishta nachakatina, like that we used to mug up in the initial Dashatina Shibiram. So na eva, naiva, a plus a, I, similar to tatra plus eva, na plus eva, naiva klishta. So what does it mean? Sanskrit language is neither tough, neither complicated nor tough. Once we start swimming, yeah, it does feel that way. But the shore always looks a little far. Raja Ashtaishwarya Yutaha Asit. Ashta Aishwarya Yutaha. So Aishwarya, I has become again I. Ashtaishwarya Yutaha Asit. Okay. Gangajalam Divyaushadham Asti. Divya Aushadam. Okay. See here they have given all the things. Okay. Divya Aushadam. Like that. Divya Aushadam. So au has become au only. Vriddhi of au is au only. Vaidyaha Vanaushadam, Vanaushadhim Chinoti. Chinoti means selects. So the doctor, the forest-based medicine, okay, he chooses. So this must be some Ayurvedic Vaidya. So let us analyze the euphonic being sound-based. Okay, combination in bold words above. Tatraiva, tatra plus eva, a plus a, I. So there is a clear vriddhi. Naiva, na plus eva, a plus a, I, similar vriddhi. Ashtaishwarya yutaha, ashta plus aishwarya yutaha. So already there is a vriddhi letter, but the akara and that letter again goes to vriddhi only. The a disappears is what is happening, but we don't call it alopasandhi because vriddhi is the output. We call it vriddhi sandhi only. Okay, so that is another important thing to note there. Divyaushadam, divya plus aushadam. Okay. Divyaushadam, a plus au. So then now these styles are understood. So a plus a plus I, a plus o, a plus au. So I and au, even if they participate as that first letter of the second word, the result will continue to be the same. Okay. A plus a, I is also I. A plus au is also au. Okay, very important to note these two. We always quickly enough recognize the left side too. A plus a into I, a plus o into au. We sometimes get confused with this. Oh, output letter is already there. How can I give the output? What happens to akara? So recognize vriddhi sandhi for already vriddhi swara is a simple vriddhi swara only with the disappearance of the purva. In this case, both the purva and the para disappears. A and a disappears, aikara appears. But here, a and I, you can say aikara appears in the place of a and I. But technically, I is I. So akara elides is another way of looking at it. Same with a and o. Okay, remember that's why there are 4 tiles here to show the 4 colors of the vriddhi sandhi. And remember always akara can be akara also, right? Here unfortunately tatra, na, ashta, divya, vana all are hrisva akaras. Okay. Technically it can be dirgha akara also. Anyway, one thing to remember, akara with akara itself won't generate vriddhi. It generates akara. But you can look at akara as another vriddhi akshara in some way. You can kind of think that way, but it is a savarna dirgha sandhi, green one. Okay. Oh, what happened? Something popped up.
Mahoday, why is it called vriddhi? What in the, vriddhi means progressive, right? I mean, why is it called vriddhi sandhi?
Vriddhi means growth.
Ah.
There is a growth, no? The letters are growing into something else. A plus A becomes I.
All the hraswas become dirghas actually, if you notice later.
Correct. So vriddhi is some kind of growth. Yeah.
Bigger.
You can say that. You can say. But see, look, we guys always look for some laukika artha. Shastrakaras simply called it vriddhi. Okay. For them, they could have called it ABZ, and they would have called it ABZ sandhi. We should take it as ABZ sandhi. But generally, they don't do all random naming. They try to give something relevant, but don't try to overdo the reversal of that relevance to the real world again. Okay, accept it. So, guna, accept it. What is guna? Everything has guna. All the swaras have guna. Why those letters are called guna? Like this, you can argue, right? So that point of this, the Vyakarana is not to for you to analyze what is the meaning of guna. They want you to know what guna means in Sandhikarya. That's all. Guna is for me just like some title, like in software you use XXX, YYY variables like that. Huh? Yeah. Title holder. It happens to be logical. Vriddhi and guna. Okay. I think we exhausted this page pretty much. As shown in the above examples, when the vowels and a, see they didn't show any a example, but they talked about it in the English, are followed by the I, the vowel I replaces both, and when followed by ow, the vowel ow replaces both. So you can look at these two as one class and these two as one class, because the output is ow for these two, output is I for these two. Vriddhi sandhi. This sandhi is called vriddhi sandhi. Yes, as sandhi has become yes there. Okay. Swara sandhi. So this is where in our graph we try to recognize where this vriddhi sandhi falls. For me, this graph, if I mentally etch it, no, because our brains are very good at pictorially remembering things. So this color picture will remain in our head. Without effort, it will remain. Okay. And so it is easy enough for us later to reverse engineer what the sandhi is. So I know, oh, this is all green is all savarna dirgha, yellows are guna, these pinks are vriddhi, these blues are yan, this yellows again. Unfortunately, I've used yellow again. The Guruvarya has used light yellow, dark yellow, but so light yellows are all yanta, vanta, desha, like this, if you remember. In fact, later on, few more colors will appear here, and all that. Anyway. So we have 8 minutes. So let us see some more examples. Eka plus ekam, a plus a. So I, ekaikam, ekaikam. But you see, some of these sandhis are so natural. You forget what is the right side form. Just to do this, what you call in childhood, we used to play, no? Say fast, say fast, say fast, say repeatedly like that. So ekaikam, 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 ekaikam. Your mouth does the sandhi. Okay, your mouth does the sandhikarya effortlessly. Sanskrit Panditas just recognized what the mouth does. Why? Because their interest was to make it effortless for you to speak. Okay, so the effort of their grammar is to guide you into the effortless zone of speaking something. Okay, cha enam chainam, cha enam chainam. So a plus a I. Raja plus Aishwaryam. Already I, so Raja Aishwaryam. Okay, there won't be Raja Aishwaryam, some akara remaining, nothing like that. Because a and I cannot both remain in a sandhi, because the two swaras have to collide into one single swara. The rule, you see, the golden rule of our language, all Indian languages, is Vyanjana, 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 multiple, one to many, swara. And Vyanjana also 0 to many. Okay, 0 to many only when the first letter of the word is place where Vyanjana can be absent. Okay, you can have a swara as the attack letter for a word or a Vyanjana, but a Vyanjana will appear with a swara. except in the end of the word halant. Okay, and that too not everywhere. Okay, some places halant can appear. So the rule is, general rule is n star vyanjana plus swara. One swara. You cannot have swara multiple. So that's where Sandhikarya is happening, to collide into one single final swara, which is the most congruent one to pronounce. So if you see now Raja Ishwaryam, let us break it down. R plus A, Vyanjana plus swara. J plus I, Vyanjana plus swara. Sh plus V plus A, Vyanjana plus swara. And then this repa, okay, actually is attacked first. You can look at it as repa plus yakara plus akara, ria, like that. Okay, so ria, and then makara halant. There is no vyanjana. So like this, no swara to that tailing one, Raja Ishwaryam. So only Hindi, because it doesn't follow the rules of Sanskritam, you will see suddenly akaras and all appear in the middle of the words. Akara, okara and all appear as whole. Akaras, whole, okaras in the middle of the word. In Sanskritam, you will never see that. Okay? You will never see a swara pop its head in the middle of a word. You will see a swara only at the head. Other places, you will see it only as addition to the vyanjanas. See? Always they are seen as the baby symbols to the vyanjanas. Right? So that is the engineering of this language. The fundamental euphonic arrangement of Sanskritam and most of the Indian languages. Those that are deviating are forced to do that because they are importing words from foreign languages, right? So when you import, then you need to force yourself into using such forms. Or they are what you call, they are morphing it in a slightly different direction, not in according to the original euphonic rules. So they are doing that. But Dravida languages have their own rules, and largely if you take out even the Sanskritam immersion of Dravida languages, like take the very core Tamil, you will also see very nice euphonic arrangement. They have their own euphonic class and euphonic arrangement. They are also not incongruent. It is also not a tough language to pronounce and all that. If you are native to that, okay, it is reasonably euphonic. Okay, Sanskritam is extremely scientifically euphonic. That's what it is. Okay, nobody disputes that. Ganga plus Ogaha, Gangaugaha, A plus O, Au, Augaha will come. Tava plus Audaryam, Au will remain. Tava Audaryam, Akara will disappear into the Au. Aukara only remains. Tava Audaryam. So these are the, sir, some abhyasas. Ogaha is some kind, I think it may be a alias for water. Just let me quickly look up, madam. I used to know, but my age is getting on. Let me try. Ogaha. Ogaha. One second. I have to.
Ogaha means flood or a rapid flow.
Ah, okay. So for water only, but flow. Okay. Ogaha. Ogha. Yeah. Ogha is flood, I think. Yes. Multitude, flood, stream, such meanings emerge. Okay. So Ganga Ogaha is basically flood of Ganga. Ganga need not always mean Ganga river. Remember, Ganga sometimes we use as a paryaya for Apa only, for Jalam only. It is almost paryaya for Jalam. So you can call it as a flood of water also, not necessarily of Ganga river. So you can say Kaveryam Gangaugaha Bhavati. In Kaveri there is a Gangauga, like that. Yeah.
Audaryam, what is that?
Audarya is respect, kind of. Tava Audaryam, according to your respect, something like that. Okay. When Udara means some kind of liberal attitude. Audarya is according to your thinking process, according to your maryada, some sense like that. Okay.
Is it opinion? Opinion?
No. It's not opinion.
Generosity.
It is a mental status of liberal nature.
Generosity.
Generosity. Thanks for the word. Thank you. See, there is always a good word which is closest and we forget it. That's all. Because it's not our native language. In Kannada also we use say Audarya, Udara. Very easily it comes to me. Okay.
Udaratana.
Udaratana. Tana is that audaryam infinitive form. Okay. Sada plus eva. You guys jump in.
Sadaiva.
Sadaiva.
Yeah, very easy. Sadaiva vriddhi. Maha plus aishwaryam.
Maheshwaryam.
Whoa. No, Maheshwara. I is already there. How can you go back to A? You cannot reduce it. Maheshwara. See the beauty that is happening. Akara disappears. Akara disappears and becomes one single I. Maheshwaryam. So I will become. I is already Dirga. So Maheshwaryam. So Maha Aishwaryam, Maheshwaryam. Beautiful. Tasya Odanam. Tasyaudanam. So Okara and Akara together become Aukara there. Or actually I should say Akara plus Okara is Aukara. Rashtra Aikyam. This is already Vriddhi. And first I want to point out to all Southerners again. All of us Dravida people, this font is sometimes new to us, so we get confused. In the Swara, I, only one pucha, one feather is there. Okay, but when it appears as a baby Swara to the Vyanjanas, double pucha comes. See this. See, same au, but if you see O, you see one pucha. If you see au alone, you see double pucha. Its baby is also double pucha. Au's baby is also double pucha, but with the bar. So bar plus double pucha is au. Without the bar, the double pucha is I. Remember this. We make mistake with this. I used to make a lot of mistake with that. Okay. Param auchityam. Parama auchityam. Akara disappears. Aukara. So paramauchityam. Tatra ekada. Nava aushadam. So this is au remains au. Maha ausukyam. Here again Dirga Akara goes away and Dirga Akara plus Aukara remains the Vriddhi Aukara. New Vriddhi is also Aukara. So Mahau. There is nothing like Mahau. Mahau is not present. Okay, Mahau is only present. So Au becomes Dirga. Mahautsukam. Mahautsukam. Tatha eva. We use Tataiva so much, we almost don't see the Sandhi in them. Almost this Tataiva and all we use too much often. Tathaiva bhavatu, tathaeva bhavatu, tatastu, tataiva bhavatu. Those are all Sandhis we do almost in a unaware way. Okay, Yadaiva. Now my question for Yada Eva is it Hrisva Akara or Dirga Akara? Yada Eva. Dirga Akara. Remember that. There is no Yada Shabda. Yada Eva. Yada Eva. If there were a Yada Shabda, that would also generated Yada Eva. Okay. But Sanskritam already has some facilities where certain non-mapping reversals are not normally possible. Okay, not always that is true. Sometimes both yada and yada forms may be there. I don't with yada, with some other word it may be there. So there you have to be cautious and Sandarbhika answer. Both answers will be correct. But here only yada is correct because if you write yada, that means you are not aware of the word yada. You are simply blindly reversing the Sandhi. They may give you half a mark. Chaitat. Cha plus etat, not cha plus etat, because there is no cha shabda. Cha is there, so cha plus etat, chaitat. And also there is no aitat alone, so you cannot write it as cha plus aitat also, because aitat is not present. Okay, cha plus etat only comes out. But in another place, ait something may come out. Okay, nainam. Correct. Not this thing like that. Pashyetan. This one is the famous from the first chapter of Gita only. Pashyetan Panduputrana. Like that. Duryodhana does the crying, no? So that one. See these Panduputras like that. So Pashya Etan. This Pashya is a lot. See, it's a Kriyapada lot. Pashya. Tvam Pashya. Tvam Etan Panduputran Pashya. Hey Bhishma. Hey Bhishma. Tvam Etan Panduputran Pashya. Somebody is doing a cooking.
Dronacharya.
Dronacharya, perhaps. Sorry. Madam, Sanjay is only impassive observer. Sanjay is not involved, except when Duryodhana's father, Dhritarashtra asks something, he gets involved. Otherwise, he is a passive observer. Okay. So sometimes he appears as Sanjaya Uvacha. But Pashya is for somebody within the Ranaranga. Now I will mute everyone. You guys need to unmute because there is a crosstalk happening from somebody. Okay. Those who need to answer going forward need to unmute themselves. But anyway, pretty much you guys are pretty much there. Ekasyaiva.
Ekasya plus eva.
Ekasya eva. Easy. Ramau Kantyam. I think Out Kantyam is the correct form because see Kantyam has a vriddhi. So here Rama plus Out Kantyam and not Ramaha. There is no Visarga. So Rama and Out Kantyam. And that is because it is a Samasta Pada. Okay. So Rama plus Out Kantyam. This is the hope they don't give tough ones like this. But this is Samasa Pada. Mahaujaskaha. Ojas is a word, you know, no? Okay. So Maha Ojaskaha. Ojas is some kind of energy thing, no? So Maha Ojaskaha, one with lot of tejas.
I have a query. The sixth one, could it be Ramo Utkantyam?
Ramo.
No.
Yum.
No, because O becomes...
Au plus U.
No.
Au plus U generates Yanta Vanta Desha Sandhi. Okay. Au is in the latter half of the swaras, no? So it will go to the light yellow portion, which is Yanta Vanta Desha Sandhi. So we have to say how Yanta Vanta. So if it was possible, Ramo Utkantyam, it becomes Rama Utkantyam. Vakara. Rama Utkantyam, like that. Ava Utkantyam, Rama Utkantyam, like that it will come. Okay.
What is Utkantyam, sir?
Utkantyam may be incorrect also. Utkantyam may be the Uchita form. If it were there, let us say it was not Utkantyam. It was not Utkantyam. It was Utkantana. Utkantana is legal, no? So Rama Utkantanam, something like that. Okay. Utkantyam is a vriddhi of Utkantana only. So Utkantana is there. Okay. Holding some kind of emotion boiling over. If the emotion boils over, we say our throat got stuck. That one. I think something like that. I think something like that, or it may be loud voice also. Utkantana, Utkant. Okay. I generally feel some kind of emotive sense of throat filling up. Okay. I have to look up also.
So it's longing for Ram. Longing for.
That means it's a pralapa. It is Rama iti Utkantyam. That means we are mouthing Rama Shabda. So Rama Utkantyam means pralapa for Rama. Okay. Very good. Thank you. So screaming for Rama. Pakvaudanam.
Pakva Odanam.
Pakva plus Odanam. Pakva plus Odanam. Pakvaudanam. Raktaushadam. Red medicine. One hope that we get something like that today. Red. I remember in my childhood we used to go to this local government local division. They will have big large glass bottles of red aushadhi, green aushadhi. We always to come back and said to complain to our mother, Amma, last time he gave green one that worked better. This time he gave red one. It is not working.
Sir, is it Oshadam or Aushadam?
Rakta Aushadam.
No, Oshadam I've heard also, which is why I wasn't sure.
Rakta Oshadayaha, Oshadayaha, Aushadham. Aushadam has the vritti av. Okay. Oshadayaha has the okara only original. Some of these are what you call sanadi constructions on top of the original word. Okay. So, like Dasharatasya putraha Dasharati, Dasharati iti bhavati kila. Tata औषधम इत्यत्र औषध इत्यस्य वृद्धिः अस्ति ओकारस्य औ इत्यत्र. Okay. Anyway, if you write rakta plus oshadam, they will give you some marks because but oshadam may not be a pure form, so they might people may take karuna in your.
Oshadam is from the Vedic text, which is why I was asking.
Oshadi means plants.
Oshadam means
but
plant.
It won't be oshadam, it will be oshadayaha, oshadaha, something like that. It won't be oshadam.
Oshadam is aushadam.
Perhaps. See, look, you may get your full marks, but the original word, as we know, is aushadam. Okay.
Aushadam is medicine, no sir? Medicine.
Medicine. Yeah. Oshada means forest produce, and aushada is from the forest produce, something like that. Janaikyam.
Janaha plus Ekyam.
No, somebody always adds visarga. Madam, whoever is adding visarga, please don't add visarga. Jana plus Aikyam.
Jana plus Aikyam.
Just don't generate visargas out of the blue. Okay, be very careful. Okay, Jana plus Aikyam. Thank you very much. So let us start with this slide from the afternoon and conclude. Our time is well past.
Hello, sir. Backslide. There are two words, Auchityam and Ausukyam. Can you tell me the meaning, sir?
Which one, sir? I didn't hear you correctly.
Auchityam.
Auchityam means uchita. Uchita means some kind of a proper sense. Auchityam means some kind of a correct applicability. Parama Auchityam means something is supremely applicable. Okay. Application is how we read Uchita. Uchita means proper, like that. Auchityam means properness. Okay, properness. So Parama Auchityam means supreme properness. That means extreme fitment of some thought or some action or some padartha to some situation, right? Like for example, we can say quinine padarthasya COVID roge paramauchityam nasti, like that.
Another word, Autsukyam, sir.
Autsukyam. Utsaha. You know Utsaha? Utsaha means some kind of a feeling of vigor in doing something. So Autsukyam is a lot of Utsaha, is Maha Utsukyam. Okay, enormous inclination to do something. Inclination.
Or enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, another beautiful fitting word. Good, great enthusiasm. Maha Utsukyam.
And so what would the meaning be of Ojaskaha? Ojaskaha?
Somebody with Ojas.
Somebody
Somebody
with Ojas.
with Ojas. It is a Kridanta applicable to a person who has that characteristics of Ojas. So Mahaujaskaha is somebody with a lot of Ojas, like some Rishi, Muni, such people, like our what is our Tibetan leader. He's a Mahaujaskaha, you can say, because when you look at him only, you Dalai Lama, yeah. So when you see such people, you see that they are such Ojas-filled people. Yeah. Okay. So let us restart with Sangrahya Vichayaha in the afternoon. Okay. So 3 o'clock, I am asking too much from you guys. Gather again. We will continue. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dhanyawada.
Dhanyawada, Mohoday.
Dhanyawad.